If you just started playing Genshin Impact, you might be slightly confused on what you're doing. In this video, I'll quickly go over 5 tips for beginners. If you've been playing for a few weeks, this still might be helpful to you. I made a lot of these mistakes when I first started playing, and I wish I could have avoided some of them, so please do avoid some of these mistakes. Genshin is a gacha game at its core. If you've never played or heard about a gacha game before, you might be a little bit confused. In Genshin, you spend primal gems to exchange them for wishes to have a chance of getting a character you want. These characters rotate in and out, so if you see a character, it might be a while before you see them again. It could be a few months to or even a year before a character comes back again. If you're thinking about spending money, only spend what you can. This ties in with rerolling. When you first start a new account, after getting to a certain point in the game, it will offer you some free wishes. But if you don't get any of the characters you want, you can make a new account to try again and get the characters you want. But be warned, this can take a long time. Plus, the current update of Genshin, which is 2.4, doesn't give as many rewards as the last update, so do this if you really want a character or have the best possible start. I have a video guide on how to reroll, so if you're interested, click the I or the link is in the description for you if you want to watch later. Quick tip, avoid the weapon banner unless you have a lot of money or are deep into the late game and don't need any more characters. After you do your starting wishes, you might have gotten a few new characters and wanted to start leveling them right away. This is a mistake I see so many starter players make, and it could be easily avoided. This is one of my alt accounts I play from time to time, and it has some resources, but given these resources to my main account, I can use them all up in about a day. Getting resources in the early game is harder than in the late game. Spreading your early game resources to 6 or 8 characters will give you a really hard time when you run out of resources. What I recommend is focusing on one DPS character and like one support or healer character for now until you can get into the late game, where you can start building a full team for Abyss if needed. If you don't know what characters are good for DPS, you can look up a tier list. As much as I don't like tier lists, they can be a really good point for starter players to get an idea of how strong a character could be. When you get to a point where you feel like you don't kill enemies fast enough, you might start wanting to get more damage. Unless you know this game to the core, you probably won't know how to get the most out of a character. Please look up a guide on any character. Some guides are better than others I find, but they all point you in the right direction to start building your character. One of my goals for this year is to have a video guide on all the characters in the game, at least the ones I own, so if you don't know where to look, you can always look on my channel in the future. When you unlock original resin, you might not even notice it at first, or even know what you're doing with it. Don't be like me and sit on 160 resin for weeks and not do anything with it. Resin is what you use for getting any kind of resources in the game to progress: Mora, XP books, characters / weapon materials. Not using your resin is a way to really just slow down your progress throughout the game and give you a really hard time in the late game when things get really expensive. What I recommend doing with your resin in the early game, besides getting the necessary materials to level up your character or weapons, I recommend just doing a bunch of Mora ley lines. Mora is one of the things that everybody needs, and in the late game, you will need millions upon millions of Mora just to build a single character. I have a really old video of how to use resins efficiently at every adventure rank, but the audio quality on that is super bad, and I don't recommend watching it. I'll probably make a new one sometime in the future. After finishing your prologue, you will unlock your first weekly boss, which will beat the Ballin. And like the name suggests, these bosses can only be fought and claim the reward once per week, so it is recommended that you claim the reward every week. You'll unlock more bosses as you play the game. Currently there's 5 in total, probably another one coming in the future. These bosses drop a special material that is used to level up your character's talent past level 6. This might not seem important when you can't even get your character's talent past level 6 at first, but in the later of the game, when you need to start getting some of the talents past level 6, trying to farm them might be a little bit difficult as you can only do it once per week. It's not a super big deal to miss a few weeks here and there, since we can get items like the Dream Solvent that can change the type of material the boss drops at the crafting table. This is just a quick 5 tips for all you beginners starting the game, so hopefully you won't be as confused as I was. This is a really fun game, so I hope you guys do enjoy playing it. And let me know in the description on how much you like the game. Do you like it or do you not like it so far? Subscribe if you don't want to miss any more future tip videos. Have a great day, best of luck on your wishes, and see ya.